She is quite involved in the game, yes.
That might be why she's behind the breakers bench then, too.
Wollongong, the first possession, Cedric Jackson with the steal. He goes upstairs for the jam. Leading the league in steals is Cedric Jackson, and you see you don't want to overhandle the ball around him too much. Jackson got hooked up there with Larry Davison. We'll get another look at that jam. And then he just threw him down, and Wilkinson goes down like a bowling ball effect.
Well, not much in that, just all accidental.
I think it was just a big arm swing. It's more drama than anything else. Ubaka to Martin. Martin gets into the paint. Just rims out.
You've got to finish that. That's a wide open layup.
Jackson turns the corner. He's fouled by Ubaka.
Well, Gordy wouldn't be happy the last two possessions. Jackson's got a steal, and then they miss a wide open layup, and now they're running it back at you. Crucial time for the Hawks. You've got to come out tough. Throwing it up now on the end line. Just changing up the defense.
Well, Martin did all the hard work and just wasn't able to finish it off on that layup. I still like this lineup with the two guards that can turn the corner and make something happen. Makona, too big for Ubaka. Ball goes off him. Well, that looked like it went off Mika Makona, didn't it?
Nah, it didn't, Steve. It's off the Hawks. But I agree with you. And you go to the NBA these days, you look at, they're all running guards that can put the ball to the floor. You can't just be a shooter or you can't be a non-shooter. They want you to be able to shoot and dribble and pass. And I think in Australia, we've got to continue to develop our kids so that they can do these things to become better players.
Wilkinson showing you how he stays on the floor. He is someone you have to double team down on the block.
He's one of the best scorers going around. I'm sure Andre will just want him to pick it up at the defensive end. That's a good show off the on-ball screen. And now he's rotating back to that shooter, Oscar Foreman. Much better defense from Wilkinson on that pace.
Ubaka, his three ball short. That's run down by Jackson. Good rebounding guard for his size.
Look at that paint. Can he still get in there? There's three guys in that paint. He still draws the foul. I love the way this kid plays. For all our Australian kids at home, watch the way Jackson plays. And you know how I feel about Myron Allen too, who the Tigers just picked up. He's one of the better passing point guards in the league as well. But Myron Allen, as we saw, can shoot as well.
You know, they're playing off of Cedric Jackson. We heard one of the timeouts, Andre Lamana said, look, you can't settle for the three. You got to get to the rim. Now, it's congested. But with a player like Cedric Jackson, you can't be too far off because then he gets a run and start at you.
Yeah, and, you know, from your playing experience, that's tough to deal with. And sometimes you just got to penetrate, even though they're sagging off you. At least try and get to the free throw line to get yourself into the game, because that's how he gets into the game.
Good ball movement. Pass to Tyson DeMoss. He drills it. That is what he's got to do.
Well, he doesn't have to do a whole lot, Steve. Just stand there and catch and shoot and make the most of them and play defense.
You ought to shoot about 500 of those a day. Wilkinson. That was a brick. Tyson DeMoss with a long rebound. I don't know how he didn't sense Cedric Jackson behind him.
Well, he's not normally a ball carrier, Steve. And you should give that up early and keep running and get back another catch and shoot. Or cut to the rim.
Jackson, another one of those guys, is just as dangerous behind you as he is in front of you. Makona skips it to Corletto. One bounce dribble to get himself closer.
But a great closeout. I'd be closing out hard on him. Good closeout by Tyson DeMoss. Made him dribble. And as we saw, we finally got a missed shot from Daryl Corletto.
And that's what you got to do when a guy's red hot like that. You got to make him put it on the floor.
Back.
That one's on Gary Wilkinson in the back.
Signs are good for the Hawks. Tyson Demos coming off the bench, hitting that three early in the third.
Demos, shot clock down to 3. It's straight and it's good. Tyson Demos on fire.
Well, he's a catch and shoot. Same thing we talked about. Make players put the ball on the floor. If they hit a couple, he's feeling good. He hit that three, you know, only about a minute ago.
He's always a solid defender, but that'll put a bit more bounce on his step on the other end of the floor, too. Wilkinson, backdoor cut. Hesitated. Demos was off balance.
The switching defense, Tyson Demos just slipped over, which allowed Wilkinson to get that easy layup.
Reese Martin in the key. Nice pass to Larry Davison. Demos for another bomb. That's off the mark.
I really don't know what these guys are thinking, turning their back on shooters when they've made 2 in a row, Steve.
Davison kept it alive for Wollongong. Saville.
Give it off. And then repost.
Oscar Foreman. That's good. Oscar Foreman continues his hot streak. He did not need much time and space. Saville and Abercrombie going at it.
You know what, though, Steve? I don't think the Hawks need to fire up New Zealand. They should just let sleeping dogs lie.
Because they have been asleep.
Yeah.
Double foul. What, Abercrombie and Sub? Is there a third man in?
There's nothing in this.
Coming in. Just looking after the game. Double foul. 12 in the red. 10 in the white. Go that way.
There's a double foul. Saville and Abercrombie. And they're still guarding one another.
And the young bull versus the old bull.
Oh, let him talk, Roger. Let him talk.
Yeah, no one can hear it.
Corletto. He's cooled off. He's missed his last 2. Tyson Demos just getting up underneath Gary Wilkinson on that rebound. That'll be baseline out of bounds for New Zealand.
Right where your foot is, mate. Right where your foot is. Right there you go.
I'm just wondering how long Ando Yabaka is going to be sitting on that bench, though, Steve. I know they've got a 12-point lead.
Get that bit there, right?
Floor wipers doing their best. They need to get a little sense of urgency going there. Corletto gets it in. Jackson spins, gets to the rim. That'll be a travel. He hopped into a spin.
I don't think that is a travel. Roger calls a lot of travels on spins, but I'd like to see the footwork on that. There's no way that's a travel in the US.
No, it's not.
And that's not a travel.
Put one foot down and laid it up.
Just because you spin doesn't mean it's a travel.
No.
You got to look at it.
4, 5, 6.
So New Zealand turn it over again. That's turnover number 11. Catron gets by Wilkinson.
Well, the Hawks are doing all the right things. They're going at Wilkinson on the perimeter now. Catron instead of settling for the jump shot. Weeks ago, he would shoot that jump shot instead of taking his big man off the dribble. And that's a good move.
Abercrombie making sure that wasn't a three-point play as he went upstairs and changed the shot's direction.
I agree with you, Steve. New Zealand's been put to sleep. They're in danger of an upset here.
They are struggling, only shooting it at 38% from the field with 11 turnovers. And they're not aggressive turnovers.
right off the bat, they just were throwing the ball into the Hawks' hands in the first 3 or 4 minutes. It's given the Hawks a lot of confidence, and they picked up easy baskets. Hawks are a real chance now.
Wilkinson outside the three-point line, and you cannot allow him that much time and space. Wollongong keeping it spread. Reese Martin loses the handle. CJ gets it to Jackson. Jackson turns on the Jets, gets it to Abercrombie.
Oh, this is a mismatch here. He should be looking to take a Foreman off the dribble. He does. And one.
And got it. Abercrombie with a nice crossover.
See, what I like about that, Abercrombie just pulled it out, knew he had to slow a guy on him. There's no need to run offense. This game isn't rocket science. Sometimes you don't need to run structure. Space it out, go at it straight away. He either scores or if they suck in, somebody gets an open look, Steve.
New Zealand get that one to go. Abercrombie will go to the foul line. We'll take a break. 52-42.
Yep, not all DIY projects are as easy as making great tasting Cooper's DIY beer. Ooh.
Bonus as well, so keep being aggressive. Trans on the fly has been good for us, all right? The pick and pop, I haven't used the second guy's been good, okay? Otherwise, you've got some secondary reps, and some shakes to keep getting to the basket. Secondary reps and shakes. This one here, go ahead and run shakes. It said you be the out-of-bounds guy. All right, so it's going to G, it hits here, and you come across and look at that handoff and get to the basket.
Because that's staying home on G.
All right, so G, you're here, and you're setting that back screen here, and Dylan's going to be this guy. There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Brennan, I like Andre Lamanis' timeouts. You know what I like? I like the fact that he's referring to the scouting report, because I am mystified at how players don't seem to know a player's tendency. Like he was saying, Katron likes to put it on the floor going to the left. That's clear. Also, Oscar Foreman, they have to get a hands distance, touching distance on closeouts.
Well, the break is just switched on the defensive end, it seems, Steve. So if they make that adjustment, they've got a chance of getting back in the game. We've still got a fair amount of time to go, but the Hawks have put them to sleep, for sure. But saying that, they've just scored 6 straight points.
And they're only down by 8. Wollongong have got to continue to put the foot on the gas. Turn the scoreboard over. Larry Davison for 3. That's way off the mark.
I was just about to say he's due, but he's not looking like making one.
Jackson gets it to CJ. Extra pass to Abercrombie. Yes, here come New Zealand. They've scored the last 8.
And it's a little bit more difficult now for the Hawks to sag in the paint with shooters like Wilkinson, Abercrombie and CJ. He's got 3 shooters out there. They can only sag in the paint really off Boucher now.
Katron gets to the middle.
Tron's having a good game. I think that's a smart move. I'd like to see more of that of him posting up these smaller 4-man in the league. And they did. I thought there was 2 points missing, Steve. It's now a 5-point difference. I said that during the break. I wasn't sure if they added the 2 points. You know what? I'm pretty sure Abercrombie made his shot. They gave him 2 free throws, so maybe they got an extra point.
You like those 4-point plays.
They put it up. Well, that's a free throw. I'm confused with the scoreline right now.
Katron gets the free throw to go back. Great pass to Abercrombie's blocked from behind by Katron.
Well, the Hawks just keeping it at bay at the moment.
Katron with an athletic, acrobatic type move. He's very handy with either hand around the hoop.
And Andre Lamanis has seen enough. He wants better defense from Wilkinson. He's coming out. That's just, the Trojans led him to the ball. Foul coming up here.
Abercrombie spins. That's a travel right in front of Roger.
I'd like to see the footwork on that again, because I don't think that's a travel.
Get another look, spin. I think if you're going to call that every spin move is a travel. I sure would hate to see that move eliminated from the game.
There's certainly some spin moves are travels, but there's some that aren't. You know?
I think if you hop into a spin, it's a travel.
Yeah.
But if you just
planted your foot,
spin into a shot,
you're taking out an exciting part of the game. If you're just not allowed to make a spin move.
Martin finds Tim Conrad. Dribble penetration by Reese Martin results in 2.
Well, again, the Hawks bounce back. The Breakers just can't break that 6-point margin. They are just not playing with the urgency that's required.
Jackson.
Wow, how'd he get that off, Steve? Defense wasn't too bad on that one.
He thought he was fouled, too. He barked at Roger Shields. He better watch himself there.
He knows he can't make a spin move for the rest of the night.
Reese Martin. Hit by C.J. Bruton. Just gets right by him. No help defense from New Zealand.
Breakers in trouble, I reckon, Steve.
They've spread him out, and they've exposed New Zealand on dribble penetration. Hawks up 61-49. Andre Lamanis' first-place team is in trouble here at the Sandpit.
And Ayende Ubeka has been on the bench most of this quarter.
They might want to get him back in there. And Wollongong's trust of, when they're playing well.
Ubeka wasn't hurt, was he?
Well, they're playing well. They're up 11. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, Martin just got a nice lap, so they'll probably keep him out on the floor. But before that, really, it was Tyson Devos that I thought was doing a good job, and I expected him to stay on the floor, and maybe Ubeka can come in for Martin.
Okay, you got to worry about the three-point, Larry. You're at the back. Conrad, Reese, you're chasing. But we want to go in 51 until he gets that catch. As soon as he gets that catch, you guys back, sprint back. Hey, for us here, get to numbers again. Except we're out of sack. So run sack, and then whoever pledges on, he comes and gets it. Okay? So sack, and then one more. Hawks, 1, 2, 3.
Well, the Hawks are going to move the ball here, Steve, and they're going to on-ball off Ledger, which is a good idea. He'll probably be late on his show, so Martin should be able to get to the rim as he did on that last play that we saw going into the top before the timeout. So the advantage is Pledger's size of the post-up, but he can really utilise or abuse him on the defensive end with on-ball screens.
CJ looking for a teammate, finds Bacona. CJ with Reese Martin. Steps up and underneath. Wow. CJ Bruton. Team needs a scoring boost. They go to the veteran.
And you talk about scouts, Steve. Reese Martin should know that CJ loves to pump fake. His dad used to do the same thing. Stay on the floor, man.
CJ Bruton, he makes it look just effortless.
Well, he slowed down a notch, but his IQ, all the experience he's got, he's just a heady player, and come finals time, you just know he's going to deliver, as you mentioned before. So he was struggling to get by Reese Martin then, but just got him down low and just give him a little bit of a fake. Up in the air he goes, and he steps around him.
Wait for it.
Plus, Reese Martin doesn't have the height to stay with him and contest a shot. Wow, see that there.
No, you do not. CJ Bruton does not miss from the foul line too often on the year. He's at 87%. We saw Tim Conrad, an 85% foul shooter, miss 2 earlier.
That's not a smart foul. Put the guy on the line.
Another look, he is just right in front of the referee, and that might be the easiest call Roger Shields has made all year. And Mika Vukona is the type of player who can get in foul trouble. Tonight he's only got 1. That's his first. Maybe he was feeling a little left out in the foul department.
Well, I said it wasn't a smart foul, but he misses the first free throw. But you know, when you're in the bonus, you've got to know when you're in the bonus and not give easy points up.
1 for 2 is Tyson Demos. Demos, and below average free throw shooter on the year at 64%. Abercrombie is starting to light it up outside
and
the
this is where the Hawks
line.
have got to watch it. If they score, get within, 5-8 points, the game can break right open in the last quarter.
Hawks up by 7 at the moment. A little over a minute to go.
And every time the breakers get here, Steve, they have a breakdown. Here's another one.
There's Reese Martin had a wide open look. Alex Pledger was late. Didn't want to get too close to him. Allowed dribble penetration. Jackson.
Look at all that paint.
That's a charge. They are just sagging all the way into the paint. Jackson had nowhere to go.
You know what? That's good defense. I think that's a charge. Cedric is shaking his head, but that's a charge. He just needed to give that up a little bit earlier to see Abercrombie. Look, there's 2 guys there.
He had nowhere to go. And Wollongong's lead is 9. Matt Campbell sitting on the bench watching his teammates. Oscar Foreman gets it up against Mika Vukona.
Well, they'll move this ball and then an on ball probably off Pledger. Here we go.
Martin with the split.
That's a block shot.
Abercrombie with a great block shot. You can't block a shot better than that. They collided bodies, but he's allowed to go up in the air. Let the man make a spectacular play. He goes straight up in the air and blocks a shot.
That's a block shot.
That is a block shot.
You know, there's little things that the NBA referees, they just wait and they look at it. They don't blow their whistle too early. That's a big-time play. It's an exciting play. It should be let go.
You can't block a shot better than that. Goes up straight up under the rim with 2 hands. It wasn't like he pushed with 1 hand and blocked it with the other.
Well, Andre's asking the question to Ray Hunt, but he didn't make the call. Roger Shields made the call.
Man, they want to have a look at that one.
Well, what can you do?
No, I mean, the officials want to have a look at that one when they have their meetings.
Yeah, absolutely.
CJ, his ball's kicked.
Breaks are going Hawks' way. And that's a break, because really, he's a block shot. No question about that.
There's just not enough athleticism in this league to not allow that.
Plus, Roger's an experienced referee.
I think sometimes a player with great athleticism like that, you get surprised. It's Jackson throws it up in the air to Pledger, and he gets the finish. Super dribble penetration by Cedric Jackson.
Just laid it out there for him. Last shot play, coming off Pledger again. Here we go. Pick and pop here. Pick and pop, Steve. Get the ball to Foreman.
Martin tries to get it all the way to the rim.
Bad play. Oscar Foreman's way open off that on-ball screen.